This is Anne. We're here for serious business. Good morning. For those that it's morning for me it's till 11:28 p.m. Almost a new day. Happy Monday to you guys. Anyways, I'm here to do a review of the movie Dependent Man, right? So I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. I think it's a must watch for everyone. More important for those preparing for marriage, and especially for those who are in marriages and are having serious issues and thinking of divorce. So in my description, I said divorce is a very last resort, and that should be in a grievous situation. A grievous situation should be a situation of life and death. Let's say the man beats the woman always very hard, and she might lose her life, or even the woman beats the man. I hope you guys know that women also beat their husbands. Life and death situation. Or some people would say in the case of adultery. But for this movie builds up from one angle to the other. It didn't really, I wouldn't say it's a case of adultery because it had a genesis. The problem had a genesis that had been running in that family for like 1 year and some months. What is the story? This story, Dependent Man, is a story, a movie by Uche Onka Productions. Those who featured in the movies were Roxy Antak. He's a new face in the Nigerian movie industry. And this lady, Wambo, forgotten her first name. You should know her. Yeah, I still have that movie hanging up here. Ebube Wambo. There is Susan Zainat in that movie too. So it's a blockbuster, I must say. I just saw it. And hi, Alisa. I'm talking about a Nigerian movie, the review of a movie titled Dependent Man. So I'm using that movie as a lens to look at marriages of today. So in the description, I'm saying marriage is for mature people, okay? Hi, Alisa. So marriage is for mature people. If you know you're not mature psychologically, emotionally, and otherwise, please do not venture into marriage. Don't get married because you think everyone is getting married. Not everyone is called to marriage. I'm not just talking about in the case of, say, priesthood, sisterhood, blah, blah, blah. No, some scientists are dedicated to their science work, like a man or a woman. Anything, God may call you to just anything in the world. Dedicate your life. And the reason why there is so much problem that everybody thinks they are called to marriage is because yeah, hi GDK. I'm doing a review of a Nigerian movie titled Dependent Man. So I'll use it as a lens to look at marriages of today, of which we know the issue is always divorce, divorce, divorce. Funny enough, people can get married 2 months, 3 months. They will be so shameless as to end the whole thing. When a grievous situation, which I mean a life and death thing, is not the problem. Like a man beating up a wife and she may die. That's a grievous thing, and many others. But you see little thing as, oh, he's doing this, she's doing that. People just wake up and decide or opt for divorce. So that's shameful. That's what I think. Okay, my sunshine. That's not what we're discussing. Please, listen attentively. We're not talking about us. We're talking marriage here. Serious, serious. Let's be serious, please. Okay? And it's too early for us talking. Mhm. So I'm thinking that if people get this restraint, think that, I mean, this is shameless. I just called people up 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 1 year ago, come for my wedding, and the next thing we are divorcing. Have that restraint. I don't think we'll have so many divorces. People will work maturely to revitalize their marriages, of which there is always a way. Perfect. Enough of the running around. I said the movie people were Roxy Ebube. She's a good person in the movie. So how did this story begin? It began, the lady got married to this guy. Before they got married, the guy used to do very well. His job was moving well. He would take care of the lady, provide everything, and even helped her come up, got a job, and she started working and doing well. But all of a sudden, something happened in the guy's place of work, and he was asked to leave. That's how he became jobless. And he was jobless for about 1 year and 2 months or thereabouts, according to the movie. And in these 1 year and 3 months, the lady became the breadwinner of the family, paying the rent, and they live in a big house, feeding stuff, every damn thing. And in the comment section, some women even were saying, why would you disrespect your husband because he lost his job? Blah, 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 blah. That is sentimentality. I want to correct that here and now. The best and beautiful thing in a marriage should be that the couples are both working, because as we say, it takes two to tango to take care of a home. And somebody cannot be jobless for 1 year and 2 months, and you say you cannot get a job to do. My friend, get anything to do. People are riding or driving Ubers, doing different sorts of things. Do something. Working does not necessarily mean you should have money in your bank account and all that. Working gives you self-respect. You can be up and doing and do certain little things yourself, and that can put some respect in the home again, instead of letting the wife run the home for about 1 year and 2 months. But when we go saying, oh, respect your husband no matter what he does, this, that is building up unnecessary sentiment. Even though I may not be married or anything, I come from a home. I've met people, I've heard stories, I've been in situations. I know what it feels like, or even just having a friend, that you do things together with and all that, and it turns to you being the one providing. You go out, you pay the bills, you do. I mean, you can get tired. So if I'm a woman in such a position, I will feel this angst, is this negative feeling. You might even lose respect for your husband or your partner because he's not working. 1 whole year, 2 months, it's bad. Let's say the truth. When we see the something going wrong, we should state the truth of that matter so people can learn. Not building up unnecessary sentiment. Respect your husband. You can't respect a man who does not work. Respect is reciprocal. You respect somebody who works, no matter how small the work may be. But at the end of the month, the week, every 2 weeks, you come home with a little thing. Can you imagine that in this movie, it was the wife's birthday, and all the man could do was write something on a paper like this, and he was doing very funny acts. Happy birthday, and then he came dancing for the lady, say happy birthday, and then he goes like, I cooked your delicacies in the kitchen. It's like a buffet. Ask me whose food he cooked. It was the same food the woman bought with her money. He set wine on the table, the same wine the woman bought with her money. Don't you have friends that you can go and beg, please give me 2,000 naira or something? Let me buy, even if it's a earring for my wife. Take, happy birthday. You're cooking her food, you're saying it's her birthday, you're giving her the wine she bought, it's her birthday. Certain things can be shameful. So I'm just gonna begin from where I took some notes that was where I was gonna begin. Let's always begin from the very, very beginning. I began with the trouble with the woman, which I think has something to do with the home or the foundation she has. She doesn't have this manner of approach. Even if you're beginning to disrespect your husband because he doesn't want to be serious about getting a job, every day he sits at home, he's begging you, give me this, let me start this, instead of him to go out there, talk to other people, tell his story, and make his wife proud. He'll be at home begging, and he started doing all the chores, and his wife would talk to him anyhow. He will laugh it off and say all sorts of things. The woman had a bad manner of approach, I must say. I won't take that away. And she had this controlling attitude. So even if your husband says something wrong, does something in the wrong way, and you're angry with him because he doesn't work, you don't need to say, come get out of here. Why did you cook this kind of food? It's tasteless, and so on and so forth. There is a way you can handle that, okay? And this goes to tell us that couples, when you meet each other, there has to be something that is relatable, something in common that you both have. You know, Hi, Secret Will, Sarah. I'm not a man. I began as a man. Okay, well, I'll get to understand that. So you need to have certain resemblance in your temperament. But this woman has a higher temperament. And I believe because they didn't cut for a long time, or maybe she was pretending the way people pretend these days, you know. But the guy's temperament was very, very low. Maybe if his temperament was just in the middle, it would be easy for them to come to a balance. So that's what I'm saying. Couples need to have many things in common if possible. If not, about two, three, or four is enough. That is how you can bring a balance in your relationship when there is a problem easily. Number four, the lady was an ungrateful person. So she forgot about how the guy helped her. Many times, even me, when I have issues with people, things may be happening, but I don't really boil up, to start saying all those things. I can be angry or grumbling within me. You know, it's left for the person to understand whether I'm grumbling or not to say everything out all the time, because at least you are man and wife, that should not be forgotten. But the lady forgot hers for whatever reason because of anger. Anger can lead to so many things. And the guy was wondering if she totally changed. But at least I understand from him saying she had changed to something else from what she used to be, of which the problem was the root cause of her change. People think that a man not working as a breadwinner, supposed breadwinner, is a small thing that people should overlook. No, it's never a small thing for a man not to be working, and it may never be overlooked, you know. So men should grab this thing, she talks, and then one time she had a guest over, her friend. Her wine spilled. She called the man to clean it up, and they were talking. The lady was praising her husband. He's good, he helps her. And she's like, she decided that the man should stay at home since he's jobless. So she's like, because I'm now the breadwinner of the family, many complicating thoughts begin to come, and she begins to see herself as even the owner of the man, by thinking that she decided that the man should stay at home, not that the man was staying at home because he was also looking for a job. And then, as the story progresses, I begin to find out that for 1 year, 2 months, you're not working. No, my friends, in even 3 months or 4 months, one should be able to find something. It may not be what you were doing before. That's something people fail to realize. get something going while you're waiting for the best option. Many people drive Uber in the United States, Europe, and everywhere. The problem is that in Africa, if you've gone to school, people say or think that when you do something lower than somebody who has gone to school, of which I wonder what is even lower. Today we have different courses and programs that people are getting into. So in Africa, if you drive a cab or do Uber, stuff like that, they see you as a non-entity. Unlike in Europe and America, that everyone is respected for what you do. So that's why that guy may not have been thinking of a lesser option. But towards the end of the movie, it came to him that at least he should do something because the wife kept pestering, pushing, and saying all sorts of things. He decided to get a job at a location or a building site. You see, the funny thing he did the first day he was leaving the house, he wore his best suit, carried his bag, and the wife was like, "Where are you going?" He said he was going to work. At the end of the day, he gets to the building site and pulls the suit and dresses up in something else. So that's how people can be shameful about earning a living because they think it's below their standard. But you never can tell who will meet you there. And eventually, he meets somebody who helps him, who was a lady who lives in the same estate with them, who had approached him for friendship, and he said he was married and left. This woman eventually sees him at the building site because finally they started talking from time to time, and she decided to ask him what the problem was. So he shared, and then she helped him get something. So if he hadn't gone to the building site, where would the woman meet him and know that he was truly jobless? Was it not his wife that kept pushing, pestering, and nagging? Sometimes we think that people nag and are too negative when they push us to go out. You had been at home for one whole year, not working, doing chores for your wife. But she kept pushing you for 1 year before you decided to step out. So that pushing or nagging, so to speak, also helped him become serious about getting something for himself, even though in the process it was negative. For which I tell you that, except you were wearing someone else's shoe, you will keep saying, "Oh, she can do better. You can respect your husband." It's not true that you can respect your husband if he doesn't have a job for 1 year and some months, he doesn't bring a dime. My friend, you will get antsy. So stop judging, stop being sentimental, and let's face the reality. Even me, who is not married, I cannot give somebody my money free of charge. Fine, you may be sick, you need money. I can lend you the money, but you have to pay me back. I don't care about what I feel for you as a man or whatever. Keep that love aside. Be serious. I give you money for help. You give me back that money. So everybody has to be serious. And people begin to take people for a ride because someone is your wife. You don't work, you don't provide. You just pick up her car key. You want to drive out of the house. You go to her purse, you collect money without asking. No, we need to ask. And that's why we disrespect each other in the family. He's my father now. He's my mother now. She's my wife now. You just be doing anyhow. That's how there's something we call see finish in Nigerian pidgin. That you have seen this person, nothing, nah, nothing. They won't do anything. You just go and put your hand in somebody's purse, which was what this man did. Took money from his wife's purse. And the wife went and didn't find her money. She comes, "Why did you take my money?" "Hey, take it now." He said, it's just, you have not been working for 1 year. You just go and collect all this money because she's your wife. And some, I don't want to use negative term, women are saying, "He's your husband now, respect now." No, I cannot respect somebody who will not get a job in 1 year and 2 months, even if you're my husband, even if I love you past my mama, as we say in Beijing, go and get the job. And the guy is also so funny. He also nags his wife. Imagine her birthday, he comes and he's saying, "Of course, I know Yahweh, but we're not talking about Yahweh now. Sometimes we tend to cover up life's issue with God. God expects us to do better because God has endowed us with so much knowledge and strength. It is from prayer that we begin to act. So when you pray to Yahweh, Yahweh will teach you how to run your family. We're talking about how to run a home now, not about knowing Yahweh. Yes, I know Yahweh very well. I don't love anybody more than Yahweh, but we're talking the reality and the deep experiences of human life that we shouldn't run away from, even if we are praying from morning till night. Man, go and get a job and take care of your home. Your wife should also work to the tango to make the home run. And then he comes and is asking for 300,000 naira to start a business. The wife says she doesn't have, she won't give. He changes the topic again. Hey, is it not time for us to have children? You have not been working for 1 year and some months. You want your wife to get pregnant, the only breadwinner in the family. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense because when she gets pregnant, she won't be as strong as she has been in the past 1 year taking care of the home. They could ask her to leave the job. And then the child begins to suffer, which is one important thing the lady said. How can I get pregnant? You are not working. He's there saying it takes almost 9 months to get pregnant. You need to prepare for a child. You don't bring a child into the world to suffer. Because I know that children in marriage is very important. Children are a blessing in the marriage from God. But it would be senseless that we want God's blessing to come upon us. We don't have a job and we want to have children. It doesn't make sense. Even when you pray, God will reveal it to you that it doesn't make sense not to have a job, but you want to have children. The Catholic Church teaches that having a child, that blessing from God, goes with the training of that child. If you cannot train the child, then it's evil to bring that child into the world to suffer. We have too many children suffering already. Instead, you go and even adopt a child, go to foster care. They're looking for parents, love a child. And the story continues on and on. The guy wants to start inviting friends over. You have not been working for 1 year, you are inviting a male friend over, and you go and take the woman's wine and you are drinking. Does it make sense? You can hang out with your friends. You don't bring them into the home that you don't pay the rent. Or if you must invite a guest, then you have to tell the woman. Not just bring anybody and you start drinking wine. Then when the woman complains and she was even gracious enough to say, tell your friend to leave. If it's other women, they will ask the friend to leave by themselves. And he's hammering, hey, is it because I don't have a job? Blah, 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 blah. That is an emotional blackmail. It's not because you don't have a job. It's also because you don't have a job. It's a two-way thing in that situation. Inviting a friend over in the middle of the day when people should be in their workplaces, you're drinking alcohol. So it's wrong. As a sensible man, your wife is always getting antsy and angry and irritable because you have not been working for 1 year. Stop doing the things that makes her antsy, that makes her insult you. Avoid all those things. The woman can even calm down that terrible attitude, which that was the main problem in that family that had arisen. Joblessness. How do you tackle that in such a relationship? We tackle that by the man getting a job. If just after 3 months that he lost his job, he started working at that site or any other small job, in 9 months, he would have started making good money. and so on and so forth, and start bringing income into the family. It's very important, the details. So I was saying the main issue was that joblessness. So when there is a problem, the best way to solve it is to hit the nail on the head of the problem. Kill that joblessness and the problem is solved. If such a problem lingers for that 1 year, what may happen is that due to the disrespect or see finish, they may decide to go their separate ways, which is not the solution, and which was what happened in this particular movie. Is let us try to solve the problem from the root cause. The root cause in this review is joblessness of a man for 1 year and some months. Any woman must get antsy, except a woman who is not truthful to herself or who just wants to be unnecessarily sentimental. You know, the man becomes close to a woman and you're strolling with the woman in the estate, holding each other's hand. That a wife behaves somehow doesn't mean you should demean yourself to do or tag along with her. That's not the solution. The solution is you go getting a job, not to provoke the woman by telling her that there is another woman who is interested in you, of which the woman herself in this movie, dependent man, met another fake guy, a Yahoo guy, who came proposing love and marriage. At the end of the day, he dupes her and runs away with her money. And when she realizes her mistake, she goes back to the guy who is now very close to the woman in the estate who helps him get an online job. And for some men, women, and people, when once we meet new people in our lives, and maybe people in our former lives have been saying things to us, we start acting as if that those people are useless to us. You start seeing the new friend as an angel who fell down from heaven. You forget about the past that you've been through with the other person. You forget of the fact that this person has been running the home for 1 year and some months without your contribution. You go depending on the past. "Oh, I've been taking care of you now before." Is that a justification that you no longer work? You have not been working for 1 year. It's shameful for a man, a supposed married man, not to work for 1 year. It's shameful. And that is the truth. There are many jobs you can do. There is no excuse whatsoever for a man not to provide for the family for 1 year and some months. There is absolutely no excuse. So, all those who are talking in the comment section sentimentally, let's get real, friends. Let's be real for once. You know, it says many unnecessary things. You know, the woman changed from whom she used to be because she started getting angry. How can my husband be at home for 1 year? He doesn't have a job. It can make any woman angry. I must tell you. So let's just try to be real. And I encourage you to watch that movie, Dependent Man. Money, working is not only about making money. I think I made mention of that. It also gives you self-respect. Going out of the house every day to earn a living can give you money, self-respect, help you maintain that stance of a responsible citizen that adds a quota to your society and even impact the lives of people in your community. These are the benefits of working. It's not just money alone, that working avails. And then he begins to get small money, even though the money is not up to what he used to give. In the movie, the woman goes shopping one day and spends about 200,000 naira. And that should be about $300 or thereabouts. She never discussed with the guy, and she comes and is like, "I went shopping, refund the money." and the guy gives her 7,000 naira. 7,000 naira is just about $4 or $3. So, and she throws the money back at him, of which that wasn't too good. I mean, her anger escalates. She totally gives up completely that a guy can do a job, of which he goes to the job. She never believed that he was doing anything whatsoever. That's the extent to which anger can drive a home. Even in that situation, it is not a justification for divorce at all. Divorce should only come in a grievous situation if people will not be shameless. You don't invite people to your wedding after a few months they hear that the marriage is dissolved if it's not a case of life and death. That is something couples need to develop. This committed stance that no matter what, except in a life and death situation, we must remain in this marriage. It's shameful to the children that their supposed parents will leave after just a few years, a few months. It doesn't tell well of such people, really. And that's why it baffles me these days. Every time I check on Google, they're always saying stories about Meghan and the prince. They're gonna divorce, they're separated. I don't really like to go through those stories, and I wonder who is putting up those stories in Google and other social media platform. For me, it's like they're praying that their marriage should dissolve. You don't think about the little children. Archie, who is just 4 years old or five, and his little sister Lilibet, you know. And if actually they are separating or going their separate ways, I should think that they are shameless. It's not right for you to bring children into the world and separate them for your personal, egoistic reasons. It makes no sense. If it's not a life and death issue, marriages, couples can be reconciled and live happily ever after. Please, if you're not mature enough mentally, don't venture into marriage. It's for mature men and women who can handle the issues of life. It's not because of, you didn't come to pick me from work today. You don't longer care about me. You don't respect me. You're divorcing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Shameless, shameless, shameless. They say, it's my thing. That's your business. And that's how they'll be jumping from one man to the other, one woman to the other. Gosh, it's not good, friends. And then the supposed new friend says, when the guy tells his story, he asks, is the money she earns not able to sustain the family? He says, yes, of course. And she's like, then why is she nagging? That's false. That she thinks, or it makes no sense for somebody to say because a woman's salary or the money she has is able to run her home for 1 year and some months, the husband is justified not to get a job. A fellow woman saying, because she's working, she doesn't have to nag. Taking care of a home for 1 year and some months, if it's you, will you not nag? Why are we never ever truthful? Woman, I'm asking you. If it's you, even if you're earning billions of naira of dollars, your husband has not worked for 1 year, has not brought a dime to the home, will you not nag? Let's say the truth and shame the devil. All those ones are sweet talk to act as if you love the man. And initially, you say, just to be friends. And after you're looking at the man like this, every time he comes to your house working on the computer, and the other day you get happy, jump, 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 and then you fall on top of the man, and then you do like this. Women, hi, I want to be your friend. They have agenda. Agenderos. Women are are dangerous. Let me use that word. That is my new connotation. Finally, the matter keeps building up. And I would say that the problem of that family shifted from that foundational problem of joblessness to something else. The lady started chatting with a supposed Yahoo guy who she felt was in love with her, and she said she was looking for happiness. And she started leaving home. And the guy started looking at the other one somehow. And I would say that at that point, it was starting to seem as every old man for himself, as we say in pidgin English, you know. But once the lady stayed out late till almost 3 a.m. with the other fake guy, and she gets up at 3 a.m. It's like, why didn't you wake? I can't spend the night outside. And she goes home. She apologizes to the man. For the very first time, she comes to her senses. It wasn't her intention to spend the night out, even though she was angry with the man for not getting a job. At least she apologized even before the matter got out of hand, of which I really appreciate her. In spite of all her nagging from the very beginning, she still apologized. But the man never took note of that apology. So, this is where the problem begins with men. Women will pile up their problems, but at a point, something will prick their hearts. But at that point, then the man begins to look elsewhere. Why is it always that way? Why? The woman later came to her senses, of which, if the man had acknowledged that apology that very day, maybe she wouldn't have gone off with that man. And she actually said she was going into the kitchen to prepare the man's favorite meal. Two things at a time that covered up for all her excesses, and yet it was never acknowledged. And that would have led to the healing of that marriage. But the man felt he had found his angel in disguise because somebody found you a job. Was it not your wife that kept pushing you, nagging you before you went to a building site and somebody found you there? So now you think this is your angel that came to save you, a woman you have not courted, you don't really know her. In another 1 year, it will move from the same problem he had with his first wife to this other woman. And if people do not pause to take stock of their lives and the situations that surround them, they keep going in this circle, having one issue to the other. You left your wife because of joblessness. Now you're doing an online job. Is it an online job that will sustain a family? You're online with your wife at home, she's there. How is that marriage going to survive? Can people totally depend on online jobs, a man and a wife? These are the things the man should have considered before jumping in with this other woman after being married with this other woman for maybe about 2 years or 3 years. Tomorrow, the same issue will happen in that marriage, and he will pack his bag and baggages and leave the second wife and jump into the third wife. And this is how men and women continue to use themselves. We're reviewing the movie Dependent Man, using it as a lens to see how today's marriages are faring. And they are not doing well at all because we have so many immature people in marriages. And they rarely would want to solve their issues, especially from the root cause of the problem. Marital issues should be solved from the root cause. The root, if it's not solved there, the problem will continue to harangue the couples. And divorce is never an option except in a grievous situation. Marital problems can always be handled. Seek solutions, go for counseling, see a therapist, talk to your pastor, talk to even your doctor, talk to good people that you're very close to. Share the problem. We say a problem shared is half solved already because every people are going through the same thing. Your case is not spectacular, I must tell you. So learn to be sharing, learn to be open rather and share. You never can tell who will have something to share with you, and that can impact your situation positively. Okay? Finally, in wrapping up, I was, what would I say? I felt really sad at the end of the whole marital thing. The man decides to leave and stick with a new woman. I see a pattern how people do not recognize the legality of an officially um, or duly signed, like you're getting into marriage. I'm trying to use one particular term. You sign papers. I want to marry this person. We are beginning this thing. It's official, as we say. So why is it that we lack the sense to go back to that official nature of the union and dissolve it, which is also saying that for you to leave a legal marriage, you have to go back to the drawing board and redo the thing. So it is official again. So this guy starts staying with a new woman. And then this other woman comes back begging after she had been duped. She realizes her mistake. And the guy had made up his mind to stick with a new person. And later he goes to tell her, we can no longer be together. Before, he's also already made his plans to marry the new person. So just within 1 week or 2 weeks, or let's say 1 month, give or take, you give someone divorce papers, you're already in a new marriage. Wow, does that make sense? While divorcing someone, you've already made up your mind to go into a new marriage. It doesn't make sense. And that is the same circle of mistake. Mistake one, mistake two, mistake three, four, five, six, so on and so forth. From one woman to the other, from one man to the other. It's the wrong way of doing things. My advice: couples, if ever you must divorce, if you were legally married, you have to follow due process. They say it takes at least 6 months to dissolve a marriage. 6 months is not too much. Wait for that 6 months. Because I don't know where you are rushing into. It is the same rush that pushed you into your first marriage. You're rushing into a new one. That is how you will also rush out. Hopefully, with your life intact. You don't just leave one marriage and jump into a new marriage. No. There has to be a time limit to digest what just happened in the first one, to understand what happened, so you can learn and carry your wealth of understanding into the new relationship or marriage. And a woman or a man who will be open to accept a man or a woman who has not officially finished with one marriage or one union is not sensible. Forget about any stupid feeling you may be having in your body. It is non-existent. It is when reality dawns on you that you will know that those feelings are just feelings. They hold no water when we want to talk about important things. Same as jumping from one relationship to another. It makes no sense. The way you jumped from this to this one is the way you're going to jump out from that one to yet another one. Why not allow your heart to heal, even your body to heal, your mind to heal, your psyche to heal? So you go into a new relationship, a new marriage, healthy altogether for that person. Even the other person come with every sense of renewal. That is the only time a relationship can stand the test of time. So we've been reviewing Dependent Man, a Nigerian movie. Just type that into YouTube and the movie will pop up. It's important for couples to watch that movie together and decide for the future. Learn many things that can lead to negativity in a relationship or marriage, and start mapping out ways they can handle such situations if ever they arise. It's important for people to be prepared for any kind of situation. Sometimes people say, oh, nowadays Pentecostal pastors are preaching, or the way they word people, they don't add for better, for worse. But for better, for worse is the reality of the human situation. They say marriage is never a bed of roses. No prayer can free you from the problem that people encounter in marriage. So open your eyes, open your ear, and hear the truth. No pattern of prayer. Problems must necessarily arise in relationships and marriage. It takes two mature minds to handle such situations. So stop fooling yourself. There must be a problem. Life comes with hurdles, and you must be ready to jump those hurdles to survive life, especially in marriage, which is the foundation of the human person. It is in the family that children are trained for society. If the training of a child fails in the family, then the society suffers. Hence, marriage is for mature men and women, not for people who are not able to handle the situations that arise in marriages. So that is the review of the Dependent Man Nigerian movie. Do check it out, okay? At this point, I'll be saying my final goodbyes. This is Anne, the Universal Sister. Please subscribe to my channel, comment on these. I thank all those who joined this live. Thank you, and have a great new week ahead. Do watch the movie Dependent Man, Nigerian movie, and you will realize that some of these things I have said here are really true and can help you on that path if you are deciding for marriage. Thank you, stay blessed, and we shall do something else next time I'm live on YouTube. Take care now. God bless. Namaste. Hey, you. Bye. Watch the video later.